Why do some men draw women in without even trying, while others push them away by trying too hard? Many guys face a confusing reality. The more effort you put into winning her over, the faster her interest fades. The real divider isn't just looks or wealth. It's psychology. Women feel a powerful pull toward a specific kind of mindset, one that completely reverses how most men operate. Today, we're breaking down 5 strategic principles of attraction that will change your interactions with women forever. These ideas are strategic, not sinister, rooted in understanding human nature, not manipulation. This shifts you from the hunter to the hunted. You become the man she notices, wonders about, and works to impress. Forget corny lines or tricks. This is about how you move through the world, online and off, in a way that naturally pulls women toward you. Using these rules, you won't be acting. You'll be evolving into the type of man women find genuinely magnetic. The aim is to help you feel more centered, more in command of your own life, and powerfully attractive without a hint of neediness. Each of these 5 rules will push you to change your thinking and actions. If you're ready to quit the chase and become the catch, let's begin with Rule 1. Rule 1. End the pursuit. Become the pursued. Most men are taught they must constantly chase women to succeed. They overtext, overcompliment, and overaccommodate. But this urgency sends one clear signal. My own value is enough, so I must pursue yours. To understand this, picture 2 different men interested in the same woman. The first floods her phone, praises her constantly, and is always free at her convenience. The second is warm and engaged in person, but otherwise, he's immersed in his own purpose and doesn't bombard her. Which man sparks more curiosity? Almost always the second. The first man's eagerness screams he has little else happening, while the second radiates assurance and high worth. Chasing places her above you. It triggers a psychological drop in interest because anything too available loses appeal. Think about it. People cherish what they work for. If you give your time and attention like an unlimited resource, it feels common. But when you're discerning and somewhat scarce, your focus becomes a prize. Instead of overwhelming her with messages and invitations, pace yourself. Match her level of effort. Don't outpace it. If she replies slowly, you do the same, not to be petty, but to avoid appearing desperate and to demonstrate your own full life. By not being perpetually on call, you silently communicate that your time matters. This isn't about fake aloofness. It's about authentically having better things to do because you're committed to your own path. When you're chasing goals and passions, you don't have infinite hours to spend pursuing someone. In your interactions, be fully there. But apart, don't constantly vie for her notice. Maybe send one thoughtful text, then return to your project or gym session instead of staring at your phone. She'll begin to see you're not like every other guy orbiting her. When you stop chasing, something shifts. Often, women will start pursuing you more. She'll question what you're up to and why you're not pleading for her attention like the rest. She might initiate contact or make an effort. By giving her room to approach, you let her invest. People care more when they put in work. A woman who feels she earned your interest will treasure it far more than one who found it too easy. As strategic thinking shows, it's wiser to let others come to you. When you stand firm in your value, you welcome her into your orbit instead of begging to enter hers. In short, quit chasing and watch her come to you. Be the reward and let her effort win you. Rule 2. Cultivate intrigue. Early on, many men err by revealing everything immediately. They share their whole history, every emotion, every plan. While openness is good, attraction often needs a dash of curiosity. If she feels she has you completely decoded from the start, the excitement dims. A little mystery keeps her guessing. Imagine a first date. When asked about his life, one man delivers a long autobiography, detailing every chapter. By dessert, there's nothing left to discover. Another man shares a few compelling highlights, a current project he loves or an interesting hobby, and saves other stories for later. He listens and engages, but doesn't turn the date into his life story recital. Who will she want to see again? Probably the man who left some intrigue, the one with more layers to uncover. Strategic wisdom advises never showing all your cards. In romance, this means don't broadcast your entire self or deepest feelings too fast. Let things develop step by step. For example, instead of instantly detailing your whole day or answering every query with a novel, share your world gradually. If she asks about your past, answer honestly, but you needn't reveal every page at once. If you have cool skills or stories, unveil them over time. Each new thing she learns becomes a satisfying discovery, making her want to know more. Cultivating intrigue also means being pleasantly unpredictable. Maybe one week you suggest surprise activity, and another time you're quiet about your plans for a day. This isn't about mind games or being unreliable. It means you aren't a 100% open book. You have depth. Today, people often overshare online and overtext. By avoiding that, you become distinct. You might post about your life sometimes, but not every small detail. When she doesn't know everything about you, her mind will fill the gaps, often with positive curiosity and appeal. Remember, intrigue is attractive because it respects natural timing. You're not hiding flaws. You're showing confidence and restraint. You trust that your character is interesting enough without a full upfront download. By letting her wonder about you occasionally, you build anticipation. She'll look forward to your next talk or meeting because there's always a potential for a new reveal. That anticipation fuels attraction. So, fight the urge to over-explain or over-reveal. Let her experience you piece by piece and allow the tension of the unknown to benefit you. Rule 3. Control your frame. Nothing destroys appeal faster than emotional neediness or instability. When faced with test or doubt, many men overreact. They get overly jealous, anxious, or upset. A man who can't manage his emotions seems fragile and insecure, which is deeply unappealing. How often have you seen a man erupt over a small thing or send a storm of upset texts only to backtrack later? Those reactions can permanently harm her attraction because they show he can't govern his feelings. A strategic mindset requires staying calm and intentional, even when tested. In dating, controlling your frame means staying anchored and unshakable whatever happens. Women will, sometimes subconsciously, test your emotional strength. She might reply slower one day, cancel plans last minute, or tease you to gauge your response. The insecure man might spam her phone when she's quiet, or sulk if plans shift. The grounded man stays composed. If she cancels, he says no problem and easily reschedules or uses the free time for something productive. If she playfully ribs him, he can laugh and play back confidently instead of getting defensive. His state isn't controlled by a single message or one person's actions. Controlling your frame also means avoiding instant infatuation. Sure, you might like her, but keep your cool. Instead of declaring deep love or overwhelming her with grand gestures early, let feelings grow naturally on both sides. Keep your independence. If you're thinking about her nonstop after a few dates, consciously refocus on your own routine. Emotional discipline stops you from coming on too intense too soon. It also shows her you enjoy her company but aren't desperate for her validation. In practice, build habits that strengthen your emotional control. If you feel anxious, breathe and center yourself before replying. If frustration or jealousy rises, step back and respond only when you can do so calmly. Over time, the steadiness defines you. She'll see you handle situations with a level head. That composure makes her respect you and feel secure. It tells her you won't break under stress and can manage life surprises. A man who controls his frame is liberated. He doesn't speak in anger or smother from fear. He communicates with thought and acts on purpose, not impulse. Ask yourself, who would a woman prefer? A man who loses it over minor issues, or one who stays steady and finds solutions? The choice is clear. This projects an aura of quiet confidence. When you are the calm in chaos, you become a rock she can trust and a man she can't help but admire. Rule 4. Draw lines. Earn respect. Being kind and flexible is great, but there must be limits others can't overstep. If you have no boundaries with a woman, if you let her treat you poorly for fear of losing her, you signal a lack of self-respect. And if you don't respect yourself, why should she? A leader who can't command respect loses a standing. In dating, if you don't command respect, you lose attraction. Women might briefly like a pushover because it's easy, but they can't feel deep desire for a man they can dominate. We've all observed a guy who lets his partner disrespect him. She cancels, flirts with others in front of him, maybe even mocks him, and he just accepts it, hoping it proves his devotion. It never works. She loses respect. The poor treatment worsens, and she eventually leaves or stays while treating him as insignificant. Now picture a man who speaks up. If something bothers him, He addresses it calmly. If a line is crossed, he clarifies it. That might lead to a difficult talk, but also gains her respect. She understands the limit and, deep down, values that he has won. Drawing lines means you decide what treatment you accept, and you calmly uphold those standards. For instance, if she frequently puts you down, even jokingly, you don't have to just smile. You can firmly state you don't appreciate it. If she often flakes, you explain your time is valuable, and you won't keep making plans if she won't commit. Critically, you must be ready to walk away if the behavior continues. This is where many men fail. They set a boundary but don't enforce it, which makes them seem weaker when it's ignored. Again, enforcing boundaries is about self-respect, not control. You show you have personal standards. Just as you wouldn't tolerate a dishonest friend or a thieving co-worker, you shouldn't tolerate disrespect from a romantic interest. Early on, a woman might unconsciously test your limits. She might be very late to see your reaction or ask for an unreasonable last-minute favor. Your response teaches her what to expect. If you grin and bear anything to keep her, she learns she can treat you poorly without cost. But if you politely push back or say no, she learns you respect yourself, and she'll respect you more for it. It can feel risky to stand up for yourself with someone you like, but paradoxically, it's highly attractive. Women can't truly love a man they don't respect. By showing strength, you might cause a short-term ripple, but you build lasting respect and desire. Strategic thought says it's better to be respected than merely liked if you must choose. In modern terms, you want her to fear losing you because you value yourself. You prove that by never accepting less than respect. So set those lines early and hold them. Ultimately, you'll either have a relationship where you're valued, or you'll walk away with your dignity. Both are better than being a disregarded pushover. Rule 5. Lead your life. Purpose above all. The final rule is to never abandon your own mission for anyone. A sovereign man is like a captain. He answers to his own compass and goals, not to external pressures or temporary whims. In dating, this means your world doesn't spin around gaining a woman's approval. You have your own direction, your aims, values, and passions, and you stay on course regardless of who enters your romantic life. Women find this intensely compelling. When a man has clear priorities, it signals stability and confidence. Too many guys drop their own important plans the moment they like a woman. They'll skip key commitments, ignore hobbies, or let work slip just to be available whenever she asks. While it's natural to want to make someone you care about happy, completely derailing your life for her is counterproductive. At first, she might like the attention, but soon she'll see you have nothing going on except her. That becomes overwhelming. No one wants to be another person's entire purpose. It's too much pressure and feels uneven. Remaining sovereign is about balance. You give attention and care to a woman you're with, but you never sacrifice the core of who you are or abandon what defines you. If you're passionate about music, building a business, or a training regimen that keeps you centered, protect those as non-negotiables in your schedule. Invite her to join where it fits. Maybe she comes to support you at an event, or you share your work successes with her, but don't indefinitely pause your calling for her. When she sees you have a life you're building and responsibilities you honor, she'll respect you more. She'll also value the time you give her because she knows it's deliberately chosen, not empty hours you're desperate to fill. Living with this sovereign mindset also means you're not emotionally dependent. You desire her, but you don't need her to be happy. If she's busy or away for a week, you don't crumble. You use that time well. If things end, it may hurt, but you won't be destroyed because your self-worth isn't tied only to the relationship. Ironically, this independence makes you a more attractive partner. It shows you're with her by choice, not from desperation. Strategic leaders never rely totally on others' favor. Likewise, you shouldn't rely on a woman's approval for your value. Keep building your own empire. Seek progress in your career, health, and personal growth. When you do this, you radiate confidence and security. A woman in your life will see that being with you is an enhancement to an already fulfilling life, not a repair project for a lost soul, and that is irresistible. A man who leads his own life stands out as a protector and a partner, someone who can share a journey with her rather than cling to hers. This approach also helps the relationship. When both people have their own lives, your shared time becomes more special. She won't feel suffocated or solely responsible for your happiness, which relieves pressure. Instead, she'll enjoy your company because it adds value to her life, not burdens it. Absence can deepen fondness. When you reconnect, you both have new experiences to share. By being sovereign, you create a healthier, balanced dynamic. In the end, remaining sovereign ensures you keep your personal power. You love deeply, but you never surrender command of your own life. That self-possession is the core of lasting attraction, because you are fundamentally a man who knows himself and where he's headed. And there's nothing more compelling than that. Ultimately, all these rules converge on one point: valuing yourself. You stop chasing because you know your worth. You cultivate intrigue because you don't beg for approval. You control your frame and draw lines because you respect yourself. You pursue your purpose because you have a life you value. When you truly value yourself, women naturally value you too. When you absorb these 5 rules, you fundamentally shift your approach to women and connections. You move through life with the quiet assurance of a man who prizes himself. Instead of chasing, you draw people in. Instead of pleading for affection, you inspire it and command respect. For example, think of the most charismatic figures in stories or history. They never beg for notice. They project calm confidence, reveal themselves gradually, and always have a mission. People around them, women included, are pulled in naturally. You don't need to be a legend, but when you genuinely adopt these traits, you become far more magnetic in real life. Remember, the heart of these strategic principles isn't manipulation. It's evolution. It's about becoming the kind of grounded, sovereign man who naturally generates attraction through his being. Apply these ideas daily, and you'll find you no longer have to persuade anyone to choose you. Women will want to be with you because of who you've become. In the end, attraction isn't forced. It's invited by your character. Attraction favors a man who is already complete. Be that man for yourself first, and everything else follows. If this resonated with you, hit like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Winds of Thought for more insights like these. Thanks for watching.